Hello everybody, and thank you for coming back to my channel. I know it's been a while and I do owe you some videos, so I thought I'd get up in the middle of the night. I jumped out of bed. This is really exciting. I mean, come on. It's been in front of my face the whole time. Look at this. Where are we? I think you know. But when you look at these concentric rings here, we've got something going on right about here, don't we? Let's look at it. Let's get close. And I can use a topographical map as well. I'm going to jump that in real quick. Let me find it. It's right here. And of course, it's already set on the Richat structure. I'm not going to do any editing in this video because I want this information out there. Look at this. When you look at these concentric rings, what do you see? You see a nice, perfect ring. I don't want to say it's a perfect circle because it's not, but it's almost a perfect circle. This one right here, it kind of gets on. There's a little bit left here, but what about the center? What do you see here? Look at the center. Okay, do you see a center ring? You don't. You see something missing, and what is that? Well, if you look at the map here, you see what's been referred to as the Quarry, but I really want to compare it to something, and I'm going to back out of here and I'm going to go over. I'm really freaked out about this, to the Yucatan Peninsula, and I want to zoom in here. Now, if you know this at all, what this is here, and I learned it from Randall Carlson, you've got, and maybe we should look at it under the topographic map as well, so you can see it. So I opened up a new one of these. Let's zoom out and get over there with the topographic map. This is the Yucatan Peninsula. I learned it from Randall Carlson, but we always knew that a meteor had struck here, but what I didn't know was that you can see the edge right there. This is part of the circle that was left over by the big one, the one that killed all the dinosaurs, most of the insects on Earth. And in addition to that, made room for the humans to come through. Okay, I don't want to mess around, but if you zoom in here, you can see it. I can move in and put the Esri imagery in there, and then you can really see the ring right there. Okay, now there is a city on top of that, but you can see the ring. The rest of it's out in the ocean. So I was thinking about that, and I learned it from Randall Carlson, and then I popped up in the middle of the night, and I looked at this circle, and I thought, my gosh, what do we have here? Now, if this isn't the meteor strike or the comet strike or the perhaps even just a Birkeland current or something that hit the target like bullseye almost, right? Okay, that's a bullseye, so it's not quite a bullseye. But if you don't think that that's a crater from a hit, then what happened to the circle? Where did those mountains go? If this is dome geology that was created by volcanic activity, it's not just going to make part of this disappear. Something made that disappear. This is a crater. Look at that. You can see the ring. And when we look at the map, let's go back over to Africa. Wow, I went out a little too far. Love this Satellites Pro. It's a little fast sometimes. Okay, let's try that again. There you go. When we zoom in there and we look at that so-called quarry, what we really see is a floodplain. And that floodplain has several what are called alluvial fans moving into the floodplain. So that area right there at one point was lower than anything else, and that's why everything's flooded in there. Come on, this alkaloid salt, or maybe you could say a deposit of alkaloid minerals, it's a floodplain. That's why it's so flat, just like here, just like there. But what you see is the ring that used to exist from the crater hit right there. I think it could even be older than Atlantis itself, but that doesn't make sense. If this was Atlantis, that's the crater strike that took Atlantis out, bottom line. I'm really excited about this. I'm going to think about this more, but I do want to share this. What if I die tomorrow? Then nobody will know. So, there you go. That is a crater right there. And if you were looking for megalithic activity that used to exist here before Atlantis was blown apart, then this makes perfect sense. Not only did it get swiped away from a flood after the fact, but a crater hit it. We can come up here and look at the Tenamore crater. They're almost the same exact length. Kind of hard to find the Tenamore crater. Where is that sucker? Right over here. The Tenamore crater, which is not an easy thing for me to find. I should probably search it. Is almost the same diameter, okay, as the Richat structure, crater. So I'm going to hereby name this Stig's crater. That's me. Where's the measuring stick? Where's the measuring? I don't see measuring. Well, I'm using the satellites.pro. So here's the Tenamore crater, and that is, let's see here. Where are we? Where's the I'm not even seeing the measuring. Let's see if this will help us. No? Okay, maybe I need to go back to Google Maps. But let's see if it's the same size. I think that this crater here is the same size as that other crater. Let's go down there and take a look. So what do we have here? Let's take a measurement. It looks like it's on my screen. It looks like a 1/2 inch. I'm going to compare it up here to these bars. So let's compare it down here. So it's right there. It looks just like the plus minus zoom in out size. It's almost the exact same size. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Okay, let's go back in there. Let's do that again. Let's get it a little bigger. Let's make it as big as all those legend items right there. So there's a Tenamore crater. We know it's 2 kilometers across. I had it better with the 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go back to the 1/2 inch. That'll help me find... Okay, no more zooming. A 1/2 inch, right? Now, I'm not saying that just because of the same size that means anything. What it means to me is that you've got almost a perfect circle in the middle of the Richat structure. It's almost the exact same size. Uh-oh, what'd I do? Did I just zoom in? Okay, maybe I will edit this. Look at that. There you go. It's the exact same size. So you've got 2 craters the exact same size within 200 kilometers of each other. Let me go back there and see if I accidentally zoomed out again. Where is that sucker? There it is. I didn't... There it is. Check that out. The exact same size. So I learned from, and I forget who it was, and I did give him props. It was like his channel was all messed up, and so I haven't been seeing his stuff in a while. But he mentioned this Tenamore crater for the first time, and I went and looked it up. But what I did not realize was you cannot deny that this is a crater here, because if it wasn't a crater, why is there an arc that goes all the way around? Now this dirt, if you follow it, it goes right about there. And maybe this dirt was flooded over. But I've always wondered why this circle was here, but I never really thought about the fact that if you look at it underneath the topographical stuff, you can see very clearly that there's a major portion of this ring just missing. And it happens to be almost a perfect circle. When you go in here and look at it, you can see that these are alluvial fans moving in, down, and covering it up. So my opinion was it's an ancient crater. It got flooded, it got filled up with material, and then it turned into a flood basin. It got flooded, it turned into a lake, and then it got flooded with debris, and it flattened out with mud. Just like Plato said, impassable mud barriers. In addition to that, you can have your glance at the mud barriers that come out here at the exit of the Tamanrasset River, the ancient Tamanrasset River. Why would there be mud in the middle of the Atlantic? If it was right out here, why would there be mud? You could simply go around it. But what Plato said was it wasn't passable. So get your nose back into Plato's writings and look for that yourself. All this debris. I mean, this is an ancient flood right here. But what we see here is something that impacted Maybe it all happened at the same time. Maybe the flood happened later. We've got a lot of flood events. That's it, guys. Do your own research. Make your own decisions. I'm going to put this out there tonight. Have a good evening. It's midnight in Taipei.